Hey guys, it's Mario here, and I'm just about to end my morning fasting period. I just fasted for about 4 hours after waking up. I had some tea and I'm about to make my breakfast. So I decided to make a full day of eating video for you guys. And as always, I'm gonna start off my day with my standard egg and oats mix, and I'm gonna take you guys through my day where I'm gonna have about 2,000 calories. So this is not some kind of me pigging out. This is my usual day when I have about 2,000 calories. And some of the things I'm gonna be doing and some of the things I'm being consuming for the breakfast will be this broccoli, as always, eggs and oats, and there's gonna be some spinach here for salad. There's gonna be red pepper, Bulgarian style. They don't have bell peppers here, they actually have these. Either one is fine for me. And we have some cherry tomatoes. So these things here will be consumed raw, right? So I'm gonna be eating these raw because they're awesome. The broccoli has already been made with a microwave, so it was frozen broccoli. I just microwaved that. Very, very easy to make. It basically takes 6 minutes to make. So I have 2 cups of broccoli, which each is about 120 to 150 grams. I'm gonna be eating all of this salad for just the one meal in the morning. So as far as the other stuff I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be listening to an audiobook. Currently listening to an audiobook called Sway, a really, really cool book that I also recommend you guys check out. So I'm gonna leave it in the description below if you guys wanna look at that. Other things here that I have a little bit of spices. This is actually Croatian spice, one of the rare few things that we export, and here in Bulgaria you can find it. So it's called Vegeta, same as the Dragon Ball Z character. So keep that in mind. Makes you very, very strong. And I have some ginger and I have some garlic. So the reason why I don't have a lot more spices here, because this thing has so many spices inside, so I don't really need to mix like so many different things. So yeah, that's pretty much all what I'm gonna do for the meal one, and I'm gonna keep logging and keep doing these for the rest of the day so you guys can see. I'm probably gonna have about 2 or 3 meals, so that's what I'm gonna have for today. So let's crack into making the standard eggs and oats style breakfast. One of the main reasons why I really enjoy this breakfast is that it's so simple to get in my fiber and my protein, and it's all super simple to prepare as well. So if you saw here that I used these vegetables, which are basically made in a microwave, and they are good nutrition, they're good fiber, everything's solid. It takes about 6 to 8 minutes to make those veggies. And then for this mix, I already created another video where I'm gonna link that video in the description below for you guys to check out the complete breakdown of how to make this eggs and oats breakfast. But as you see here, it's super simple. So I'm just washing a couple of veggies that I'm gonna eat raw. So there's a bunch of veggies that I'm eating that are frozen, microwaved, and there's also a few that I'm eating raw, such as tomatoes and red peppers. And I'm gonna eat some raw spinach. And with this breakfast, the key is really, you can experiment, you can add variety of different things to the mix as well. So I know different people adding milk to the mix to make it more like a true pancake. And in general, it can have different shapes, can have different forms. If you're in a bulk, you could have added like bacon inside, you could have added different kinds of meats. I know in a bulk, this breakfast looks a lot different for me. I mean, it's a lot more egg yolks. It's a lot more meat inside as well, so I hit a lot more protein, a lot more calories with the meal. And when I'm cutting down, it is usually a reduced fat intake and it's a higher carbohydrate intake because of my body composition. I'm in a very low body fat percentage currently, so I definitely need that higher carbohydrate intake. And I feel good because when I have my carbs, I can actually do my good workouts. So that is the thing with this breakfast. So keep it simple. Keep it real, no glamorous thing as well. It tastes really good. Might not look like the best thing in the world, but it does taste amazing. And that's what I'm gonna have for the meal one. And for the meal two, we'll see later in the day what is that gonna be. So hope you guys enjoyed real quick, and I'm gonna go back into explaining how I did this. Right, so we have it ready right here, and I'm gonna add a little small thing here. You guys are gonna see now. I'm gonna add some cottage cheese, some Bulgarian good old cottage cheese. So let me pull that out. And the reason why I'm adding this is because I need a little bit more protein with this meal, because I'm gonna go eat out later for the second and possibly the third meal of the day. So I want to add some more protein in the first meal. So that's how kind of there's two scarce elements to every single meal. So usually it's protein and fiber when you eat out. And what I'm doing here is I'm gonna make sure that I get a ton of fiber, but also I'm gonna get a ton of protein in the first meal, so I don't have to worry about it so much later in the day, and I don't have to take things like supplements unnecessarily, because I can just eat a lot more solid food. So I'm just gonna add about 100 grams of this cottage cheese, which is amazing. By the way, if you ever end up in Bulgaria, this is the thing. Some kind of Olympus brand, super awesome, good macros. It has about 14 grams of protein per 100 grams, has 2 grams of fat and 4 grams of carbs. It's absolutely awesome, and it tastes amazing as well. So coming from Spain to this country, I mean, in Spain I couldn't find any good cottage cheese, and this one is good. So all right, and that's gonna be all for the meal. So I'm gonna crack into this. Great meal. I'm gonna leave the macros as well for you guys who are interested. So that's pretty much everything. Eggs, oats, 250 grams of broccoli, 1 small to medium sized red pepper, a little bit of spinach, and there you have some cherry tomatoes, about 100 gramish. I'm not sure how exactly about the amount, but it's not really important. And we have the cottage cheese, and we have the eggs oats mix. That's all what we need. Now that was delicious. So that was the meal one. It's absolutely huge. It's gonna keep me full for, I don't know, at least 3-4 hours, a minimum, probably even 5-6. And I know a lot of guys who try to eat these bigger meals, they just can't handle it because they're just too much. And it's really something you train yourself to do, because you can't do huge meals if you haven't trained yourself to do. So when I first switched from a meal frequency of like 7 little meals, you know, maybe like third of the size of this one, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, how am I gonna be able to eat all of this? And now I have no problems whatsoever. I mean, I could probably eat even more. And it's just switching from that big meal to small meal, or small to big meal, can make a difference. So currently the way I'm doing it with intermittent fasting, I'm gonna have 2 to 3 bigger meals, and they're gonna keep me fuller for a longer time. And if I have those small meals, what's happening is it triggers that hunger non-stop. So I don't snack, I don't do any snacks in between meals. When it's time to eat, I eat, I listen to my audiobook, finish the food, and then dig into working, filming videos, planning topics for future videos, and video editing as well. That's a big one. So quick overview of the first meal, and I'm gonna shoot the second one probably later in the city. I'm not sure which place yet and what food yet. I think I'm about here that I covered maybe about a third of my daily intake. So it might seem like a lot of food, but in reality it's not a lot of calories, because there's a lot of volume added to the food. And people might be thinking, well, aren't you on a cut? You know, how can you eat that much? Well, look, if you calculate the caloric value of like these three things here, which are 70% of the food that I ate in terms of volume, it's not a lot of calories, because we're dealing with broccoli, we're dealing with like cherry tomatoes, spinach, and red peppers, and it's not a lot of stuff there. Same as here. I mean, we're dealing with cottage cheese, and it's mainly protein. So it's basically filling yourself up with a lot of fiber, a lot of protein to keep that hunger from coming in. And this is a very, very filling meal with a very, very good balance of macros. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you later for the next one. Right, so many menus, so many options right now. So what are we gonna have? This place is called Happy. It's designed to make you happy. So let's see what we have. Wow, you guys need to see these. Like, let me just show you guys like real quick. Like, this is what it means like eat in Bulgaria. Has like insane food. what am I gonna have? Right. I think it's gonna be chicken because any other food here, I'm assuming it has a ton of fat. So it's gonna be some chicken and some tuna for sushi. So it's important to know that when you're in a deep cut, when you're in a fat loss diet and you're eating out, when you're in a restaurant, you're looking at the menu, is that there's some nutrition information there. There might be some macros as well, but the food that you're getting doesn't necessarily reflect the macros. So the person in charge there, the chef, someone who's preparing the food, they don't necessarily care about the macros. They really care about making the food as delicious as possible. So that usually means added extra butter, added extra fat, maybe some sugar and things like that, which basically can put you off track with your goals. This doesn't mean that you should never eat out if you're in a fat loss diet, but it does mean that you should be cautious and keep it in moderation. So my kind of rule of thumb when I'm on a diet, I will try to do about only 3 to 4 times a week eating out, and most of the other times I'm gonna really try to prepare my own food where I know what I'm putting inside, I know what the ingredients are, and you can be more flexible or less flexible depending on what exactly your goal is and how close you want to hit your macros and how fast you want to get ripped and all these other things. But it's a really good rule of thumb to keep an eye on the food that you're eating and to kind of keep an eye on your weight on the weekly basis, so you know if you're not hitting the goal, maybe it is because you are eating out a little bit too much, so you want to tone that down and replace that with homemade dishes where you know what is inside. Thank you. Oh man, this looks amazing. I think I spent all the calories for today. Dessert was done. The dessert was absolutely delicious, amazing chocolate cake. I think this meal was definitely on par with about 1,000 calories, 1,200 to 300 calories for sure. You combine all of these things, super filling, enough to keep me going. I'm gonna go to sleep in about 5 hours from now, 4 or 5 hours from now. So this is the final meal. Intermittent fasting window is closed. There's no more food. That's it. Now just a little bit of water left and we're good. That was a full day of eating, basically just 2 meals, not more than 2 meals, because it was my rest day. I was just working a lot, so it was just like meal 1, focused work. Now this meal 2, still got a ton of work to finish and go to bed. Basically that's it. So there you go. That is the intermittent fasting window. That's how you eat. You eat bigger meals. You have a feast. Instead of splitting your calories into multiple smaller meals, you just have bigger ones that are filling. So despite the fact that I have only about 2,000 calories for the day, I still managed to eat like a massive amount of food in 2 meals that were feasts, and it kind of made me feel full, even though I'm on a diet and I'm technically losing weight while I'm doing this. So that's why you see a lot of people posting pictures of eating like cakes, like all these different things. But in reality, the total caloric intake is definitely putting them in a deficit, which is the most important thing. And I'm also gonna combine this with about 5,000 steps of walking. So I'm just gonna basically walk off a little bit of that to increase my energy expenditure for the day, because I wasn't really doing anything aside from working all day on a standing desk. So that's gonna be pretty much it. So followed by a walk, come back home, work, do some meditation, read some books, and plan the workout for tomorrow and go to bed. That's pretty much it. So that is it for the full day of eating video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna have a lot more of these coming up in the future, especially when I start doing these longer, bigger cycles of gaining phases where I'm gonna go higher in the calories. So there's gonna be much more food there, much more interesting. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.